Hi, this is Chris, and today I'm going to upgrade this Dell Latitude D830 laptop. What I already did is replace the hard drive with this SSD chip one BX500 from Crucial, 120 gigabytes, and here are the results. So it's not really crazy, but it's much better than what we had before. What's left to do is to replace the CPU. So I'm gonna put this one. Oh, sorry. So it's an Intel T9300. It's a Penryn CPU, 2.5 gigahertz and 6 megabyte of cache, FSB of 800 megahertz. This is going to replace a T7100, which is the previous generation, a MRAM. The gain that we expect is about 60% in performance. So the difference here is MRAM T. This one is a 7500. So as we can see, the die is smaller on the new one because this one is 45 nanometer and the previous one has a process of 65 nanometer. So the one we've got inside is T7100, which is worse than this one, of course. Okay, yes, the T7100 is 1.8 gigahertz compared to this one, which is 2.5, and it has some more features about virtualization and stuff like that. The next thing I'm going to do, pretty easy, is to replace the memory. Inside we've got, we had only only 1 gigabyte of RAM. I already put 2 gigabyte stick underneath, which is pretty easy to do, and I'm gonna put this one on the inside the slot. So it's gonna be 4 gigabytes, and this thing cost me about $10 for 4 gigabytes. I bought everything on AliExpress. The processor cost me $15. And the next thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna replace the Wi-Fi card. Inside we've got a G Wi-Fi, and we're gonna put this one. So it's an Intel 4965 AGN. With this one, we expect to have 300 megabit per second, and it's going to replace something like this one, which is also an Intel, and this one is 3945 ABG. With this one, with G, it's only 54 megabits per second. As you can see here, here are the results we've got with the actual Wi-Fi. It's pretty bad. Download is 26 and upload is 15, between 10 and 30 megabit per second. About the CPU, with the Passmark benchmark, I get about 1050 points with the actual CPU. And last thing I'm going to do, I'm going to replace the battery for the CMOS battery with something like this. It's very cheap. I had this pack of 5 on AliExpress for less than $2, and I had this card for less than $3 on AliExpress too. So pretty cheap parts to upgrade this rather old laptop, but still good. It's running Windows 10 1903, the last version today, and I'm not going to show you the whole process because it's pretty easy to disassembly. I'll leave you a link of a guide to disassembly this laptop, but I'm going to show you the main steps to replace these parts. Okay. So the first part you need to remove is this one, and to achieve this you need to pry underneath that part to release these 2 clips from behind. Then you bend the screen like this. You maintain your plastic tool from behind, and then with another one from this side, you start to pry here and there, and then it comes like this, and then it's pretty easy to finish and to remove this first part. To replace the CMOS battery, it's pretty easy. Put your computer upside down. Of course, remove the battery and unplug the AC before, and then under this you need a Phillips head screwdriver to release this plate. There we have the memory slot, the one I already replaced, and here is your CMOS battery. So you just have to unplug this little connector, and this is a piece of tape, and you replace the battery. I'm not going to do it because this one is fine. I thought it was dead, but it's not on this computer. Then we need to remove all the screws that are under the cover. Of course, you need a Phillips head screwdriver, and what I like to do is to put all the screws in a little box like this, and to write the location of the screws to make the rebuilding easier. And of course, I use a pair of tweezers like this to try to get the screw, and there it is. Put it in my little box. Okay, so I'm gonna carry on with this, and then to remove the keyboard, you need to unscrew the 3 screws here, and then there are little tabs on each side. You just need to push it a little bit to get it free, and again some tabs here. You put it from in front of you, and then to unplug the keyboard cable, you just need to lift this little lever like this, and that's all. It's unplugged. Then there is the Wi-Fi card with these two plugs here, and as I've got one with a third, I guess it's this one that I will have to use, or maybe one of these, I don't know, I guess it's this one. So what I need to do is to take this cover off, sorry, so I can remove the radiator and replace the CPU, which is underneath. But first, yes, I need to remove this cover. So let's try it. So I tried to remove the radiator without removing this cover, but I don't think it's going to be possible. So I guess to remove the cover, you will need to unscrew all the screws behind and under, and remove the screen too, because this plastic cover goes up to there. So I'm afraid we can't escape this step. So I'm gonna remove all the screws and then remove the screen, I guess, and try to remove this plastic cover. Okay, so I remove all the screws that were left underneath, and the two at the back. And after unplugging the LCD cable like this, and the Wi-Fi cables, I'll use this. 1, 2, easy. Okay. I'll be able, I guess, to remove the screen. There it is. Unless something else. Oh, this one came. Okay. Pretty easy. 1, 2. We had just 2 screws at the back. Okay. Let's get rid of this screen. So now I think we will be able to take this off. Oh, there's a little screw here. And I guess one here. Okay. Got it. What's left? I guess not much. It's already coming from this side without doing anything, of course. Now we could take off the radiator, I guess. Yes. Remove. There it is. So we don't need to remove the cover completely. So it's a good time to clean the dust. There's not a lot here with a vacuum cleaner. We will have to remove completely this thermal paste. This one is for the CPU, which is here. And the other one, I think we could keep this pad, which is not too bad. That's what I'm going to do. So to clean this, you need some alcohol or something like that. So I will do the cleaning both on the radiator and on the CPU, and then I come back to replace the CPU. And here I'm back after a quick cleaning of the radiator and the old CPU. Of course, you can skip this step, but it's easier to do it while it's still on socket. You need a flathead screwdriver to release the CPU. Okay, note that this mark goes there where you have the mark on the socket. So that's the old one. Just have to take the new one. Be sure it's the good one. Is it? So this one is our T9300. Okay, the mark is on the upper left corner on this view. Let's put it on socket. Doesn't seem to want to go. Here we are. Be sure that all the pins are in the socket before you screw it back. And there we go. CPU is locked. Now I need to get some thermal paste. Here I am with the thermal paste. It's some basic old thermal paste which will do the job. So you apply it on the die here. Well, I guess that will be enough. Don't need thermal paste here. So not too much, not too little. I guess this is okay. Then you take back your radiator, and I'm gonna try put it in its place. There we are. Okay, then what we need to do is to screw this with the Phillips head screwdriver. So you'll do it in a cross pattern. Okay, that's better. I'll do this one first. Okay, not too tight. make sure it's screwed correctly. It's the case here. So we're done with the CPU. That was easy. We didn't have to remove the cover. What we need to do is to replace the Wi-Fi card. So to remove this, I suppose you just have to release these clips. Yes, like this, and it pops. Okay, so this one, old one, where is it? Yeah, it's here. It's 3945 ABG. So let's get the new one. 4965 AGN. That's the one. You can see the difference. We have 3 connectors instead of 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, they are numbered. The third is the center one. And the others have the same numbers. Okay, so we will put the white, if I remember well, and black, I don't know the order, and then the gray one in the middle. We'll see that. So we put this back, and that's it. Then I need, I need to put back the screen. It should be easy. I don't know if you can see it. Sorry. There we are. Some light. Okay, so you can't see really well what I'm doing. There we are. But we need to put that guy underneath there, and those cables underneath this one. Okay. Should be okay, and then we can plug back the LCD cable. It's all set. Now, there's a little problem. It's too short. There we are. I guess it's gonna be okay. There we are. In. No. There it is. So we got our 3 connectors plugged in. These we don't need them. Everything is in place. Before I put all the screws back, I'm gonna put the keyboard back and check if everything works well. So the keyboard. Okay. So I won't screw anything. Just leave it like this. So I'm gonna plug back the adapter without the battery. We don't need it. Cross our fingers and check if it starts. Okay, let's check that. Well, it's starting. Okay, it's starting, but I forgot to I don't know if you can see. I forgot to put the SSD, so I'm gonna put the SSD first. Where is it? Okay, we've got an SSD now. Let's try again. It's starting and it's booting. So I guess everything is okay. Well, I forgot to put the memory stick, so it's not the hardest thing to do, but I'll do it after that. Okay, let's shut it down. And replace. It's not easy. I need to unplug the keyboard again. Easy. Okay, so you just need to move these little levers. That was Samsung, 1 GB, PC2, 5300. What is the replacement one? Focus. It's 2 GB, 6400. So, but it will work at the same frequency as the other one. It's Samsung. Okay. Need to put it the right way. There we are. Nope. Wasn't good. You need to plug it first and then be sure that these levers go the right way. It's okay, we can put back the keyboard again. Okay. And let's try it again. Okay. will probably tell us that we found some new memory. As usual. Okay, as expected, we've got a message about the memory. F1 to continue, F2 to run the setup utility. We're gonna run F1, not to wait a very long time again. So we are booting Windows 10, and we're gonna check what we got here. So what do we have? We got the good wireless Wi-Fi card. What about the CPU? CPU is a good one, T9-300 at 2.5 gigahertz. And about the RAM, I didn't install CPU-Z, so we got 4 gigabytes. That's okay, as expected. So everything went very well. We're gonna try a little benchmark for the CPU. Remember, we had 1500, 1050 if I remember well. Let's check that. There were T7100, yes, 1050. Let's run this one, all the tests. And we have 100 more, so 1874. That should be 70% more than the one we had before. So that's a win. Let's try now the tests of the Wi-Fi. Tests. What we had before was very little, as you can see here. Let's check the test. And I think we've got much more, 200 instead of 26 in download, and in upload. 10 times more, 150 instead of 15. That's excellent, an excellent upgrade for $3. That was the price I paid for this Wi-Fi card, and if you remember, for the CPU, $15 for 70% boost in performance, and of course I doubled the RAM for about $10. So that's all for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Finally, I showed you almost all the steps to disassemble this computer, and sorry, all I have to do is put back the screws, and we're done with this upgrade. So if you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye.